Renounces like U.S. citizenship? Or is it...
He's pretty big on renouncing shit.
He's a known renouncer.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wildly Uninteresting Podcast, episode 97. Ooh, welcome back to the show. After a 2-week hiatus.
3.
Was it 3?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, look at it. You can count to 97, but not 3.
A 3-week hiatus because our fellow host, Ian, was extremely sick, man, with not COVID, which is pretty cool.
9 times.
That's right.
It's cool when you get sick and it's not COVID because I feel like you're a winner. You know, you won on that one.
I feel like it's not 100% that it wasn't COVID.
Right.
He got a false negative.
Yeah.
I kind of see.
Yeah.
I can see that too
Well,
because they don't really know, do they?
To be sick that fucking long is just crazy to me.
I know a dude that got 4 false negatives. God damn.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
4 false negatives.
Yeah, and he fucking had it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, see,
these
that's
tests
what.
don't know shit.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if they have like the testing down pat. It's same thing with the vaccines, right? Mm-hmm. How do you know for a fact you got it figured out long term?
They don't.
Because they came out with it so damn quick. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have that long to do the trial. Like they
You
just
don't need
wanted to
that
pump it
long.
out. I guess not though.
You shoot somebody up full of shit, and then you expose them to it. You're like,
Well,
did you get it? Well, I don't know. Let's test them a bunch of times.
Have you seen the
Scientific
supercomputer programs that will run simulations and they'll run, I mean, they can run 200-300 simulations at
In
once.
like Excel?
Well, no, it's like far beyond
just
that.
kidding.
Like there's like a huge bank of computers, that run these medical simulations. So now they don't even have to test on like animals or anything like. I mean, of course, there's still
They
a
still
little bit
do.
plays,
'Cause, I mean,
yeah.
it's cute.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, man, they can run it in the simulation and then go straight to human trials. But I don't know how accurate it is at this point. Like I don't know how much I would trust it, right?
There was something about the way you said that. Have you guys watched The Good Place?
No. I don't know. No.
I have.
Never, what's his face? Jason?
Okay.
He's like, Bortles! There's just something about the way he said that.
I can see that.
Bortles!
That would be a lot funnier, man, if I knew what the fuck
thanks
that
for
was.
fucking excluding us.
Both of you would love this show. You should watch it. It's great.
Don't tell me what to do.
Okay.
The Good
Just
Place.
But I'm
Okay.
suggesting, not telling.
Yeah, don't suggest me what to do.
Oh, well,
I can
fuck
go
off.
for that. I'm always down for trying a different show. It's funny when we go surfing
You ever
through the
watch
thing.
anything on BET?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
106 in Park.
106 in Park. We
Martin.
used to watch every single day in prison. But no, you ever just
Defeated
go through
already.
Netflix or Hulu because there's absolutely nothing like, I don't know, at a certain time,
yeah.
even Netflix runs out of shit to watch. And you go and you just pick something that looks cool in the preview they give you, the little preview.
Yeah.
That's always fun, man. We always get like a true crime thing or telling us, there's a thing about that Mormon.
Yeah, what is it? Murder
Murder in the Mormons?
in the Mormons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, that was super cool.
Oh, it
I haven't
was
watched it
fucking
yet.
Great, dude.
Oh,
Watch
okay.
that
We
shit.
won't ruin it, but you gotta
He's
go
a
home
bad
and watch
motherfucker.
it. He's a bad
I
motherfucker.
love him. I don't care if he's a psychopath or what. I fucking love this dude.
Aside from the fact like his crimes were they got weird at the end, right?
Isn't that part
He's
of his
definitely-
charm, though?
Yes.
Yeah, it
Hell
definitely
yes.
is.
Okay, well, it's good to know you guys are going to hell.
Hell yeah.
He's a very complex person, and the stuff that he did was complex, and I think way over anybody's head. And they're like, you can't hate on somebody for that. Yes,
Yeah.
they might have used it for the bad or for the personal gain,
Gotta
but
respect it.
He said
You gotta
nobody
respect it.
has done it since. Anything close to what
Before
he's done
arson.
since.
That's
I
crazy.
love it.
yeah. And
Watch
wouldn't
that
you want to
shit.
be that criminal that you like set the standard for
Changing
that
the
group?
game.
Yes.
Like
Hell
they
yeah.
made laws because of you?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty
like it.
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I
As
figured.
long as I didn't murder anyone. I don't want to murder anybody.
Yeah.
I do.
What if you have no?
In high school, they changed a few of the rules because of me. I think I was setting standards.
It's fucking awesome.
Which ones were it? Was it the hair?
It was the hair dye thing, and then the demerit system.
Oh, so it's your motherfucking fault that I couldn't have purple hair. Thank you.
Yeah.
I had
Because
an
it wasn't
AA.
in there before, so I dyed my hair, and then they were like, "You can't do this." It's like, it's not in the book.
Hell
And
yeah.
they're like, "Well, it is now."
They
I
like
had,
write it in with pencil, like you asshole. Here it is.
Hey, everybody, turn in your handbooks.
I
All
had
right,
an
here they
AA
are. What's this
meeting
pencil shit?
change their rules in their actual shit. Like the stuff that they read at the beginning, yeah, they changed it because, well, they didn't like what I had to say. So, which is really odd to me.
Yeah.
A bunch of fucking drug addicts and alcoholics.
Yeah, the deviants were not happy with
They were
it.
not ready for what I had to say.
know,
They weren't ready for my
dude.
truth.
Some of them really appreciated it, and others were like, "You can't say that." Like, well, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that's something that we learned through
Wild.
through the group in AA and shit, man. They're very like touchy when it comes to cross contamination, like
Yes.
addicts coming in. They're like, no, we're alcoholics. Like, what the fuck does it matter? We're all from the
know.
same cut. Like, what are you talking about?
We're all fucked, and we all did horrible things.
Sitting back in the cut, waiting to be hooked.
I feel like NA and AA are interchangeable, but you can't have
Absolutely.
but you shouldn't be showing up to like Gamblers Anonymous and be like, I was just smacked out of my mind.
No, dude.
They're like, what?
What is this guy talking about?
That's some
Yeah.
slang I've never heard before.
It's like they just like everybody uses the AA standard, and they're like, this is, I don't know. They're so, I don't know. I think that's another one of those groups that turn into a high school mentality and the tribalism where they're like, this is our group. This is the way we're doing it. And then within that, they have subgroups of people who sit at certain tables.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You're not, you can't sit over here because we're veterans. We're the league. We set the standard. So you can't have none of this.
I always sat with
until
all
you
the
get better.
old dudes. I sat at the old table.
It's a good place to be.
They were
though.
great. I
Yeah.
loved them.
My mom always sat with the gay black men.
It's perfect, dude.
Even better, yeah.
That was her favorite group.
It's her old men, man. I feel like if there had been a table of gay black dudes, I would have sat with them.
Of course.
Yeah. But there wasn't not a one motherfucker in that place.
They're kind of hard to find in this area.
Yeah.
So, yeah, out here definitely. Where would I guess maybe the Highlands? You could find a
Maybe.
bunch.
You had a friend who was
There are
he's
no
a gay black
addicts in
dude,
the
didn't
Highlands.
he? He lived downtown?
Oh yeah, Rico.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rico. That's his name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
of
used
course.
to meth with the guy, and he would always like try to trick me into being with him.
Are we
'Cause
about to find out? Are we about to find out that you were raped again?
No.
You're just gonna slide it in conversation. I got
No,
raped
no.
by this dude. And
No, I swear, and it's like one of those things. I think back on it now, like there is a fine line. I think that anybody could have a sexual experience with like the same sex.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to be gay to like
right,
find
it's not.
yourself
It's not
into
like
that.
you suck one dick and
Yeah.
you're just clearly you're
You don't have to
gay.
eat meat to eat a steak.
Right.
Point man.
But that like begs the question: have you ever? Because they say statistically that every male growing up has like a homosexual thought or experience or whatever. Does that hold true for you all? Have you ever had like a
I mean, have I
homosexual?
ever thought
Like,
about having a dick in my mouth?
well, no, not specifically, but have
Even
you
maybe just,
hugging
like,
a man
being with
and
a dude? Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is nice. Like,
I mean, I've thought about like marrying a dude, but like in the sense of like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
right?
Like, let's get gay married, but
I had one experience, and I was like, yep, that wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Wasn't
see,
for
that's
me.
what I'm saying. Like everybody does. I almost kissed a dick at a party for money, and I swear I would have done it. I go back to it
What are you
because I
doing?
definitely, I would have been $1,000 richer. I don't know why I didn't do it, but anyways, but they say that every man does, and I know that I have, and I've even like stepped outside of that as I've gone older, and I'm like, Because you try to like put yourself in that mentality. You can't shut yourself down. So I've put myself in that thing. Like, could I see myself being with a man?
Right.
And like that answers the question for yourself if you're homosexual. Like, are you physically attracted to him? You have to think about it first to know if you are or not.
Absolutely. I mean, you just like you are, and like that's all you've ever thought about. I mean,
Right.
I think I don't know the weird thing. Like, when I think about people, like I don't think about having sex with them. So like if I were thinking about being with a woman, like you said, I'd be okay. I'm thinking about being married to them, like living a life with them. I don't
Right.
think about having sex with them. Like I don't do that with dudes either. I don't think about having sex with them either.
I immediately do that.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like.
Maybe I'm
like,
asexual.
I would happily be married to couch, but we would never do anything sexual.
Yeah, no, just hang out.
I'd cuddle him
Yeah.
as far as it goes.
Hell yes.
We could jerk off in the same room.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not touching him.
No,
Yeah.
don't get your seat on me.
I don't know.
Unless it's Halloween.
That's just something I've thought about. Like, I think there's a lot of men in the world, especially like out this way, like the country, put my boots on, I'm going to go bell hay and all that stuff. And they get extremely mad at anything to do with like, it doesn't even have to be gay or
Don't touch
considered
me.
homosexual.
Yeah.
They're just like, don't look at my pants that way or whatever.
Why do you
dude.
care about what shoes you wear?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
they get fucked up about their kid or their boy wanting to like have a pink T-shirt or whatever.
That's probably because
They're-
their fathers actually like were
Yeah.
mad at them and just
Yeah.
instilled that hatred of it.
I was
to
thinking
them.
it's like American Beauty.
Could be that.
Same way, yeah.
Like, have you seen Brokeback Mountain?
No, I
have you
fucking
seen
still
it?
want to see
You
that
should
movie.
watch it. It's a really good movie, but it's
pretty
basically like Heath Ledger's character is just so angry at just the feelings that he
Yeah.
has,
Yeah.
and eventually he gives into it, but it's just
Yeah.
he feels such shame for it whenever he's like called.
I've
out.
heard it's a super good movie,
it's
man. Those
a
are
really good movie.
I like
Heath
it.
Ledger and
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Those are two actors that don't get no better than, man. Those are my favorite actors. Even like October Sky, or nothing better than that movie. Or Source Code.
You don't like October Sky?
Or
Ah, it's just a
A
funny
Knight's
movie
Tale.
of Gyllenhaal's to pick.
Like
love it.
He's a true fan.
my favorite Gyllenhaal movie is Nightcrawler. I love that movie.
Oh, it's a really good movie.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
I
and
still haven't watched it.
he's so great in
I
it.
think
on
we
the
have
queue.
it.
He's just such a sociopath, and
Right.
it's perfect.
You can't borrow it though.
It's okay. I'll just watch it on your Netflix account.
There you
Changing the password tonight.
I'm watching it.
What?
I don't pay for it. I
His brain just broke.
don't care. I'm done. You
awesome.
can't threaten my Gyllenhaal freedom.
I know I got you all fucked up. Sorry, man. You can watch whatever you want.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But no, that I feel like a lot of those guys either are like lightweight homosexual, the ones that like fight it so much, or even the smallest amount of whatever. I think they have a lot of tendencies within them that they've never expressed because of that.
What if they're afraid they'll develop a lisp?
Right. They're like, I just want to talk right.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to talk like him.
there's a lot of pressure on dudes to be a very specific way.
Yeah.
though.
I'd kiss
Yeah.
a dick if I could just talk normal.
It's awesome. Yeah. Hell yeah. This should be their motto.
All right, well, good night.
See y'all next week.
No, I don't. That's it's something though I think that a lot of people battle with. But it goes back to that gay black guy though. He would invite me over just to smoke meth. That was it, man. It was always like, this is what we're
good
doing,
buddy, man.
and you can leave.
Yeah.
And he would always like the way he handed me the pipe, and the way like he would. I don't know how to explain it though. He
One
would like
hand with
grab.
the pipe, one hand on your nuts.
It's I guess it's more like that thrill of like, he's untouched.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I gotta get some of him.
And at the time, there were like two females at a restaurant I worked at, Gordon Biersch. And there was like a feud between these two females, and I had been with both of them. And I guess that like that nuance, he was like, I want to know why they're like trying to be with you and fighting over you. And I was just like, but he would get me in these weird conversations. I would trip up like, did I say something that like brought this on?
No, he just liked you.
But he just liked
man.
it. Yeah.
Well, that's guys. They're not used to Guys are very forward, and they're not used to people being that forward with them because they're
Right.
the forward ones. So,
Oh, okay,
like,
yeah.
Guys are super forward. Like,
Yeah.
actually, me and Kristen were talking about this the other day in regards to how forward guys are. How many dick pics have you got? Like unsolicited dick pics?
yeah,
have
too
been
many.
sent to you?
Yeah, there's not. I don't have a number, but too many.
Yeah.
Almost every single one I ever got, I did not ask for.
Oh,
Yep.
no shit.
I swear to
That's
God,
a
yeah.
terrible situation.
Yeah.
Statistic
Hi,
or whatever.
how
Yeah.
are
Sent
you?
pictures of genitals.
There
How's
was
your Monday morning? Here's my cock. Do you want to
There-
go to dinner?
there was one like Sarah
What's that
asked me
tartar sauce?
like when me and Sarah were living together. There's one thing she asked me like the response like how do I respond to this? I was like I don't know, and she's like wait a second, and she just took a picture of my dick and sent it to him as a response.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that is
I
perfect.
forgot all about that. That's fucking awesome, dude.
That is
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. It's like I don't know what to do with this shit because it's.
What?
Why do you think?
Score
why
one for
do
you all,
people
though.
think? I know, right? That we want to see. If I don't ask for it, why do you assume I want to
You
see
wanna
your
see
cock?
it.
It's
Right.
because of that old saying, treat others as you want to be treated.
I
So,
send you my dick,
exactly,
you
so
send me
I
your
sent him a dick.
Yeah, yeah.
Dick
Exactly.
on dick. I mean,
yeah, dick on
dick
dick.
for a dick. That's what happens. You know, that's something that I think I would always add. I was weird as like growing up and shit, and especially with women. Like if you allowed me to have you too quickly,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to fucking do it. I would get in my head and I'm like, I don't want to fucking do this. And then, but when it come to like pictures and shit, I would like if they asked for it. So I think in my lifetime, I sent one because I pierced my dick one time and I sent it to a bunch of people, but it wasn't like, here's my
Yeah,
dick.
check
How
out.
bad did
Girl.
that hurt?
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
Not too
Okay.
bad. Not like you think it would, man.
Okay.
But I used a lot of ice to numb the shit out of it. But
He slept with it in the freezer the night before.
Let me get this
did-
dick on ass.
it didn't quite make sense though. After I got it in, I was like, I would be so afraid to have sex with like a piercing in because that like the angle. Maybe it's the angle I had it in, but I don't think there's a good angle to have a dick piercing at all.
Like I would worry like about basically hitting the vas deferens or something, or hitting
Yeah.
the vein, and just basically just blood just going everywhere.
You bleed
That would
out
just,
on the
yeah,
floor.
that'd just be like
Plus just something
I'm
else
sorry.
for pillow
Oh,
pants
it's
to grab
terrible.
onto.
I don't even have a dick, and I can
Yeah,
I can
dude.
feel it like in my gut.
That's where you would feel it. Yeah, for sure.
Oh man.
No, that's that was always weird to me, but I never
Show.
I could never like send a dick pic without like the girl being like, "Here, I'll show you something
That's
if you show
because
me
you're
something."
a good person. Like
But
Yeah.
what is that in a man's head that they're just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna send my dick." Like that's
yeah.
a very special part of yourself,
yeah.
a very intimate part of
Pee
yourself.
out of it.
you do pee out.
Well, okay. How about we just start sending
Technically
like
the truth.
bare assholes to women?
Right.
I mean, it's just as good,
you
right?
trying to get up in this forest?
It'd be a little harder to light.
I don't know. That is
Like,
weird.
yeah,
That
it always felt weird. Like I could. Like I felt weird about it. Like I couldn't do it, but I think it's mainly just low self-esteem and like everything. Just like I feel like I'm like, what you call it, not sexually desirable. So I would never send like a
so
dick
you
pic.
wouldn't, go forth.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm okay with that. I don't care what your reason is for not sending an
fine, yeah.
As long as you
unsolicited
don't
dick
send the
pic.
dick pic.
Yeah, just
Like I won't even send one to Kristen. Like,
Yeah.
You just show it to her at home.
no,
right,
there's
exactly. Live action dick pic.
I see
That's,
you cooking. Look, it's on the counter.
So you brought
Risky.
this up. Was there a conversation like how many has like Kristen had that?
that. Like I asked her because she was talking about like with a friend of hers, talking about like her friend just got sent a dick pic,
Oh,
and
just
they were
got sent.
yeah. This was like
Fresh.
months ago. We were having this conversation. May have been years. I don't know. But I asked her.
runs together.
I asked her like how many unsolicited dick pics has she received, and she was like bunches. I was thinking like I wonder how many Sarah's gotten because I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
So that's probably been like a 2-year
So then I
question.
sent her one, so that she had at least one.
At least one.
Now, in addition to this one,
After this one, how many dicks have you seen?
Which
I
one was the
just-
prettiest?
I just assume
Say
that,
mine.
that most dudes are creeps, and then you've got very few decent. not creepies.
Man, but if most dudes are creeps and like they're an assload of people married, a lot of women are creeps.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or it's just people that are settling.
Settling.
I was gonna say the dude's doing some weird shit that she doesn't know about. Like that's how, all the serial killers who dress up in their clothes and fuck people and take pictures of it and go back and masturbate later.
I can see how like you would be in a relationship and then the person that you're with wouldn't know that you were a serial killer or whatever in that sense, because like think about a drug addict. In a lot of those relationships, the partner doesn't know, they don't understand, they never knew until it was far too late.
Hell yeah.
It's because you can get really, really good at having a second life entirely that the person doesn't know about. And then, I mean, what's your relationship based on? Like me and you, I don't think I could do anything behind your back because we're so close. But think about the relationships that don't sleep in the same bed or they don't like each other, or they married for the kids or whatever. There definitely could be a murderer in that.
Even like because like I don't tend to ask like too many questions. I just you'll give me the information that I need and that's where it stays. So like, that would be really easy for someone to go and do whatever. I mean, insert weird shit here or normal shit that's not good here. It would be super easy in that situation.
But I think if you're in a healthy relationship, then you don't even really need to know anything specific. You're just like, this feels different.
Right.
Ooh, yeah.
And if you don't pick up on that, then you're not in a good relationship anyway.
Dude. That's something
Or you're autistic.
That's something good to bring up.
Yes.
I can tell like when Sarah, even the slightest bit off or it doesn't feel well, I mean almost immediately.
Yeah.
But I learned that, when I was young and watching the social cues with my mom and dad, knowing if it was going to be a good day or a bad day, right? So I pick up on stuff that she probably wouldn't pick up on, vice versa. So you can definitely, if you're in a good relationship like that, you could tell when that person's like, something don't feel right. You know what I mean? It's you definitely in your gut.
In your gut.
I really want to know the name
Intuitively.
of that dude I'm thinking of. There was actually a person who did all those things. He would keep his victims' clothing, and then take pictures of himself.
Oh,
as the way, but he would hang them from their feet, and he would do shit like that, and then he would masturbate to it.
Ooh,
so he was
nice.
Reliving the crime without having to keep the body around.
Nice.
That's there's some wicked people out there, man. And that begs the question, like if there all this wickedness and all this fucking terror, like how could there possibly be a God, a loving God, that would allow all that shit? And I know that's like the age-old question. How could it fucking happen to me if there's a God and shit like that? But I'm not asking it in that sense in like a selfish way.
Well, that's a stupid question considering if you follow the stuff. We got kicked out of Eden.
Right.
He doesn't care.
Yeah,
He doesn't.
Like, here, you fucked
care.
up. Go to that murder world. Have fun with that. See you in 1,000 years.
Acknowledgement.
Murder world.
Huh?
Nothing.
I did a.
I went to church this morning. How much acknowledgement do you need?
Don't act like you didn't know what I said.
That's what I was.
Why don't you just say it again?
That's what I was kind of getting at. But I did a thought experiment the other day and just try to put myself in the position of people in Myanmar. Is that
Myanmar?
Myanmar, yeah. And Myanmar.
Do their
I don't know.
Zaku and everything?
Myanmar. Well, no, just we wake up and you wake up and everything's a-okay. You can go do what the fuck you want to do or go to work, right? Can you imagine waking up in a place, whether it be that or Iraq or Iran or Jordan, anywhere like that, where you got to wake up and the possibility of death is well over 70%. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're waking up into a war zone every day. Even if it's not a war zone, it feels like that, right? Because we wake up and we're a-okay. Like you don't even second thought. Like
Right.
You don't think you're gonna die at any time, but waking up into a place where you may 70% chance you may kick the bucket today.
I honestly can't imagine it.
I know
Like,
it's a hard thing.
Like you hear about so many different things. Like what is life like for those people? Can you be in that headspace? I could never be in that headspace.
Yeah.
Like, there's one thing actually. didn't find this out until a couple weeks ago, but thing going on in northwest China with the Uyghur. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but this group of this ethnic group that's primarily Muslims, they're essentially being put into re-education camps and forced into rape and organ harvesting and being placed also into forced labor because
which is the good part of it.
Yeah, because President Xi is basically wants China to be Chinese. Like, so if you're a part of China's territory, you should not be of a different, like, nationality or
China for the Chinese.
Very much so, yes.
And England for the English.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this has been going on for, like, I can't imagine being one of those people. It's like, yeah, I'm born on this side of the line, but since I'm not traditionally Chinese, I'm a slave. Yeah. And like anything can happen to me.
But I mean, don't you think if you woke up and something like that was happening in Kentucky, you'd be like, well, I'm going to go to Indiana.
Well,
you think, but
it won't reach
Can
there.
you get out of the country?
Yeah, that's the hard part of it.
Everybody could steal a boat.
That's the only thing, like, because we wake up and the normality of the situation has been this way since I've been born. So for 30 years, I know that there's a good chance that I'm going to just make it through the day and I'm probably going to live to 80, blah, 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 right? But over there, like, think about their norm. They don't have houses. They have shacks. They all live in slums. Not over there, but like in Rio, there's a, entire population of, so you think about like that, waking up into that with no AC. You're lucky if you have lights. You're lucky if, you have good running water that's clean and viable. Think about, like, it's just so strange to me. Think about, you won the fucking lottery getting born in America, whether you're black, white, Asian, Mexican, doesn't matter, right?
Well, if you're born in America, you're not really Mexican.
Well, I mean, Mexican-American, I guess. Okay. Your ethnicity,
Shut up,
whatever.
Ian.
When you could have had it elsewhere. Yeah.
It's Latinx.
Latino. But you get what I'm saying? Like, one day do a thought experiment where you, like, put your entire self and try to raise yourself in a different, and it's so weird, man. Like, how did the dice roll in my favor to be in America? And why do we have this border where those people have to suffer and we get to live this way, and then we complain about, fucking, like, whatever, enter whatever minute
all you
little
had
fucking
to deal
thing.
with was inept parents and drug addiction.
Yeah, like, that's nothing compared to what these, fuck, man.
I found this sub on Reddit. It's first world problems. It's fucking great. The most recent one I saw was like, we started our pool heater so we could swim in a heated pool, and it's only 78 degrees outside, and the pool only got to, like, 65, so we couldn't swim tonight.
Get out of here. Somebody actually posted that.
Yeah, but the whole thing is like joke. It's like a joke, but I mean, serious. But
my first thought was, this doily is off white. I wanted it white.
Yeah, dude. There's so much good stuff on there, but that's what it makes me think of. I mean, it's only first world shit.
Well, I got you. Think about how shocked and how fucking shocked people were when, like, coronavirus actually started shutting shit down, right? And then how fucking shocked Texas was when all their power went out and they were about to freeze to death and all this shit, and people actually died because of it, and carbon monoxide poison from trying to heat their, or, set out in their truck in the fucking garage clothes. I mean, just think about, we're tripping. Like, one thing, fucking a pebble hit the road. If you put somebody from South America over here in that same position, wouldn't have a fucking problem. I don't
Probably
think.
not.
They could live off the land. They go kill a fucking deer.
The only thing the only thing they would
Something
most
to that
likely
effect.
have a problem with is dealing with the temperature changes or the season changes.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I
Like,
assume half of them don't even know what snow is.
right. Like I picture my father-in-law, like Pete. He came over. He came over to America in like 83, 84 in December.
Jesus.
What a shocker.
What a
man.
bad decision.
So he flew into Chicago, and
oh my God.
and when he gets out, it's like like 3 degrees, and he's from the Philippines, which is a tropical, always in the 80s and 90s climate. This motherfucker's first experience in America is almost freezing to death.
He's like in shorts and flip flops.
Right.
That's I can only imagine what he packed and what he's wearing.
Do they not have the news
Like I feel
over there?
well, I'm sure he probably didn't realize what the temperature was going to be.
Oh yeah, great. Let's travel.
But I
without
just-
knowing.
But I feel so bad for him thinking
Yeah.
that that's his first experience.
And you think though, I think that they'd be more adept to change, right? They would be able to roll with that change better than we. Apparently, we can't even roll with the fact that Starbucks closes down. We don't know what the fuck to
Why
do
would
with
they
our
close
morning.
down?
Well, I mean, for like social distance,
I know,
whatever.
I'm just kidding.
Coronavirus.
You're good.
Get the fuck I'm saying.
I had
But do
Starbucks
you
earlier
think
though.
that in the 80s that the Philippines were playing news in Chicago
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
the
there
weather?
was the Weather Channel even then.
What if you didn't have a TV?
Bitch,
Well,
I
then you
couldn't
shouldn't
get
be in America.
I couldn't get American weather when I lived in the Middle East in the 90s. Come on.
Yeah, worldly
Shit.
couch.
Worldly couch and his chicken sandwiches.
That's right.
It's we watched a thing about Biggie yesterday, and in that entire thing, there was this gentleman that would pick Biggie and his group up. Junior Mafia, right? The people that traveled with him, and he would take them outside the city just to see what off the block was like, right?
Yeah.
And they would just drive just to see what the world was like beyond their
This
recognition
one
of
literal block.
what
What's
the
in them
world
trees?
and what that does for a person, because I can remember distinctly when after we moved out of Portland and we moved out to the South End, which wasn't terribly much better, but I was like, man, the world's this much bigger. And then as I got into high school, I had traveled out to like the mall. I'd never been to the mall except for in high school, and I'm like, holy shit, the world gets bigger. Mm-hmm. I feel like if I would have stayed in Portland and lived a Portland lifestyle, it would have been hard to imagine a world beyond Portland.
That's
and
why
the, and the
so
block
many
and
people
shit.
that live in that specific area are the way. They've only ever
They've only
lived
been there.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's just life.
Did you see the video of that dude? He got put in prison in like '99, I think. And he's been in there like he just got out. And like he's sitting there eating with like one of his family members or whatever. It's just the way he's eating. It's like
Yeah. Well,
he's like,
yes.
"You gonna eat that?" The guy's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and take it."
This is mine now.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's I can see
Some
how that
royal
would change
shit.
too, because I was only the longest stay was like a little over a year, and it changes your behaviors quickly and then there's only certain things you can control, like order within your like bunk and shit like that. So you find yourself organizing the weirdest things,
He
like
used
the
to
change
stack
out of your
his
pocket.
change up. So like all the quarters, all the nickels, all the dimes.
Yeah.
Like,
You had to like organize that little tiny space
This
you
is
were
my little space of
given.
control.
Yeah.
Hey,
You
put
Give
it-
me your pillow, motherfucker.
You had to fold your shit a certain way and stuff, and it's like I can understand that, because you gotta control something. You gotta be, and think about like 10, 20 years in prison. Like you're gonna be different. You're gonna be really different,
Right.
and you're not gonna know how to act with a lot of people around you. I will say something though, like recently I know somebody who has gotten out after a long period of time.
Eric.
And no, and they
Yes.
they don't seem like it really bugged them. They seem like they just walked out of prison, walked right back into life. Like whatever,
Yeah.
it's life. You
It
know?
is odd how well adjusted they seem.
Yeah, man.
Maybe though,
well-adjusted.
because we don't see them like all the time, though.
Yeah, there
perhaps.
might be like little quirks and stuff.
How was it for you whenever you first got out?
I don't know, man. It was super weird. The freedom and not being like seeing the sky the correct way all the time, and not seeing the roads and people and movement outside of that. It was like learning what life was. Even if mine was for a shorter period of time than somebody who spent 10 years, 20 years, it was super strange to watch the world work again.
Right.
Because my world became just that little area, you know.
You probably adapted like what it only takes. What probably takes just a couple weeks and you're adapted.
Couple weeks, you get used to like, oh, okay, you know. I think your brain, like that muscle memory, is just like it's whatever. Especially people who are just, I guess, just simple, like they don't really want for much. It would be easier on, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, it'd just be weird, man. A lot of times I think about like what life would be if I was born somewhere else or in a different situation or whatever, if shit would have happened differently. And it's like I can understand why normal is crazy to us when you look at people, you know, in South America and Iraq and shit. Anywhere that is that bad off, like third world country, so to speak. I think about that like it's crazy, but that would be normal to them.
Yeah,
they wouldn't think twice.
If you don't know any differently, then you just don't know
This
any
is it.
differently.
Yeah, that doesn't seem it doesn't seem like anything special.
Right.
Yeah. But then you think about like how lucky you were. Like, how did the dice roll in my favor that I'm in America, and you know, I don't know, pretty decent life
China's
compared
coming, just you wait.
Oh, I knew. I swear to God, I'll say that a million times. I think China's going to take over any time now. She's going to wake up.
I think it's a possibility, but it's not going to happen. Mainly, okay. So there's this article I read the other day. Basically, it's about Chinese military. Their navy now has more.
Fucking navy.
Their navy now has more ships than the U.S. Navy does.
Yeah. Okay.
But the difference is that most of their ships are diesel powered.
Oh shit.
Big
So-
Daddy cool.
Yeah, which means they don't really have that long a range.
Okay.
So most of the U.S. Navy is nuclear powered. Like we have 50 nuclear powered submarines, which means their range is almost unlimited.
Right.
In comparison to say like, what you call it, a Chinese submarines can only go as far as their tank of gas will allow them.
Yeah.
And basically they have to constantly have a fuel tanker with them to keep going or be near base at all times. So this article is basically trying to, I guess, say that the U.S. needs to be worried, and you're like, oh, China's rising, blah blah blah. But honestly, their technology is still far behind us.
They're just
And-
really good at defending their borders.
Yes, that's basically what they're doing, because if you look at how many U.S. bases are surrounding China in the Pacific, it makes sense why they would do that.
That's we watched the thing. Well, real quick, like you said, like nuclear power. Just to put it into perspective, when they put out Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, I don't know if I got to write the time.
No, you didn't.
No.
The couch caught it and made me happy.
I caught it, but I just wanted your reaction because I know it drives you insane. I don't care. You can
I
say
know.
anything.
Nuclear.
I don't even notice.
I know. I thought that too.
Yeah.
I was like, I noticed it. He noticed it. You're not going to notice it. You love him too much.
But
I'm fine with it.
to put that in perspective, like Voyager 1 and 2, one of them stopped. So I think Voyager 2 is still on the move, and it's still sending messages currently. It's going to end really, really soon. But it's it's still moving. And I think that our biggest worry is any of those countries doing anything nuclear behind their back, right? You know what I mean? Creating any type of weapon, stabilizing any type of plutonium or anything like that. I think that's our biggest worry. And we watched a hacking documentary where the biggest hack in the world, or like the best one, was to shut down plutonium stabilizing equipment, whatever. And it, long story short, they just like fucked their shit up. All their computers that would read that stuff, and it's just like that's our biggest worry. As long as we can keep that at bay, I don't think we could be taken over. But who's to say?
I mean, they'll figure out a way eventually to get through and shut us down.
The sad thing about it,
from the inside.
I think when it happens, when they come over and they put the weapon in your face, the only bad part about it is those weapons are probably going to say "Made in the USA," like because we're selling everybody weapons. And then you wake up
Sold
like
by the USA.
Yeah, we don't sell them. We won't sell them stuff. Most of their stuff they do actually make.
yeah.
Like the only way it's intimidating is if they pointed at your knees or dick. Like if it's in your face, you're gonna die. But hopping around on one knee, dog. That's
But-
rough.
So in your scenario where you get your leg blown off, you hop on your knee and not your good foot.
Yeah, I'm out my mind.
But honestly, the idea of like a Chinese invasion, like them actually being able to successfully invade and hold territory in the U.S., it's incredibly slim because, yes, you may have some people that aren't going to fight, but there's still plenty of good old boys out here that will fight.
And
Yeah.
Or,
Canadian
you know,
Ninja Squad.
yes.
I
Or,
think we definitely find a way to band together and not let that shit go on.
And
I would hope.
right. And considering how many people that are just freaking gun nuts and collect artillery, I mean, come on.
The sad look.
Grab
The
my
sad part
satchels,
about
this
it
what we're
is
prepared for, baby.
the sad part about it is it's not the fact that like China, let's say, want to merge with U.S. or like Mexico would want to merge, or Canada, and we all just merge together and
Let's
we
band
create a better
together
world.
and be a better
What it
place.
is somebody wants to move in, create control, and then like turn America into whatever
Right.
they are, and I'm the supreme leader, when it doesn't have to be that. We could all work together and you mesh as much as you want.
Yeah.
Like, we're just touch tips. Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
Tips.
When it comes down to it, you know, when you get invaded and somebody wants you, wants the control of you,
Right.
your life, and your country, like that's,
I think we should
I
have
don't,
like
I don't understand
a
it.
short video of like world diplomacy with Adam, and he's like, just touch tips. And then cuts.
Touch my titty. I touch yours.
I almost kissed a dick one time for money.
World diplomacy.
You're welcome. That's
Fade to
but it's not the point of like,
like
a
it.
merger. Like, I think a lot of people would see if we merged with another country, they would see it as, oh, they're gonna take over in our American freedoms and blah blah blah.
That's exactly why it'll never happen. You have
Right.
that group of people that are screaming about the globalists are trying to make us all one world
It
government.
probably
But
has
imagine
to do with
if
the
that
fact
would
that
have
America
happened.
came here and then took over the land and changed everything.
Oh yeah, I watched a fucking thing. This guy over in
America
Canada
came over.
was talking shit to a what do they indigenous people of Canada? What do you call
Inuits?
that? Yeah. And but he was talking shit about to her and was like, go back on your boat and go back to your country. And I'm like, yo, her people were here first. Like,
Yeah,
you
true.
came. You're the one that needs to get back on a boat and go. Like,
People are fucking crazy.
Her people crossed the land bridge from Russia.
Yeah.
that would be
Back
like
on your llama.
that'd be
You're
like
back.
telling a fucking Indian, you know, on the reservation,
Right.
like, pack your shit up and go back to wherever you came from. Like,
Well, they tried that in the 1800s. Kind of worked.
it's sad
Back to
though.
South Dakota, bitch.
But yeah, like the merging in the one world government wouldn't be bad if there wasn't a certain sense of like control and I don't know I don't know what the word is,
That's
but
like putting all your
ill
money in
intention.
one stock.
Yeah.
It's just silly.
Well, I mean, if humanity could band together for some reason, if they all had one common goal, I mean, it would
alien?
not alien. Basically, the planet is, you know, kind of doomed, and we need to get out of here.
No, I mean you. You
Oh,
said if humans, if they could get it
oh
together.
yeah. I try to, you know, put myself, you know,
I want
be
to distance
objective.
it so whenever I kill them all, I don't feel as bad. All right, continue.
That's
But no, like yeah, if we could,
What's this wee shit?
Aw,
what do
damn
you
it.
do?
that's but if we all banded together, we would have already colonized or been to at least all the planets. You'd already know what deep ocean exploration. You wouldn't have a question about that because we could just do it and there would be no money involved. We're just exploring, trying to find a better way. Like, that's the thing, man. We've never been known, everybody on Earth has never been known for not fighting each other for something, whether it was sticks and rocks back in the day or your hut. Like, we've always fought. Like, there's never been a time in
That's
history.
because we don't trust each other and we have finite resources.
exactly.
I'll
so
keep
fucking
track
stupid.
of who gets more food for more food.
Look at
you
that
in charge
fat
of that.
I just don't. I know that that's
You'll
a
get
part of our.
chocolate.
That's a part of our being. But I think about it too. Like when a buddy of mine is, let's say, not like doing better, but say he like starts a company, right? And then like he gets another job, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't have a job that I'm working right now, so like I need it. And then I feel that slight bit of like jealousy. Or like, you know, it could, just a little bit, because I'll try to like shut it down, like, yeah, it's all right, I'll get the next job or whatever. Or my company will be fine. Like I'm not hurting for anything, right? But if I see that they're doing good, like you feel that little bit of like envious, like jealousy, like, oh, I got to do one better than him, or say they can lift 1 pound more than you.
I can see that slightly, but at the same time, like when at my work, if I like, you know, somebody's doing a little bit better than me, I'm like, good, cool for you. It's whenever they start to talk about it all the time, how much better they're doing. I'm like, all right, you just need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no shit.
Like if you're doing great, awesome. Hey, you did a great job. Cool. And then I'm going to go on my shit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care.
So there could be two outlets to that. One is the person that's already doing it and has been doing it is tired about hearing it from the other guy, or they want to take their shit. So we're gonna find something to fight about, I think, inevitably. Like,
right. Yeah.
For whatever reason, I'm gonna fight you for something. Like, I don't know. It's baffling to me. But
it's because of emotions. If people weren't so emotional, I mean, we wouldn't be fighting about shit, because, at least in my opinion, it's not very logical to fight with somebody else over some shit. Like, just do better.
Ration it out, share.
It's easier to punch somebody in the mouth than it is to better yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. That's the sad truth, man. But that's when I say like, oh, the Chinese invasion. If China wanted to merge and then we become like whatever, a Chinese American culture or whatever, I'm straight with that. But I don't want you coming in and like telling me what the fuck I'm gonna like do and stuff, because you know you already have a certain sense of not being a free human. But then, you know, you move in, like I bet a lot of Chinese people are realizing that their culture controls them from everything from their parents growing up. Like they have to do they always have to be working, they always have to be doing something, or they're like gonna shame their family. Like, you know what I mean? They never get to be them. Like, you know, but that's normal. Like going back to like putting yourself in that situation, like you can't blame them for being that way, because that's normal to them. You know, it's normal to.
Right. Well, and then even further than that, like who's to say that's wrong?
Right.
Just because we don't want it to be that way doesn't mean it's wrong.
And it's villainized your whole life. Every other country is villainized for one reason or another. So you're just raised to think that every other culture is bad aside from yours. You're the ultimate fucking whatever. You know what I mean?
Number one.
So everybody else can
Number one, whatever.
Like there's something, I don't know if you've ever seen these, like, but in regards to art, like basically thinking your culture is better than someone else's, you should like on YouTube, they have these propaganda videos from North Korea basically showing how terrible American culture is, and they're fucking hilarious. Really? Because it's nothing but like food and reality TV and just horrendous like clips of I Love New York and
I mean, it sounds pretty accurate.
It is very accurate.
Hell yeah.
It's like spot on. But North Korea is another one. Like I would never imagine being raised in that society. Like I would fucking like, that's what I'm saying. It comes to a point we were talking about, like just eating a bullet at that point. Like, hopefully I can find a gun or enough drugs to off myself, because fuck this place and fuck you.
Well, you don't, at the same time, you don't know. You, like, if, as you were saying earlier, if you were raised in North Korea, you wouldn't know any different. And you wouldn't want to eat the bullets. I mean, but maybe that's like what we were talking about earlier before the podcast about, like, the homeless guy who's 70.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he's just gotten used to it, and he doesn't know any better at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope not. But
right, it's just as easy to keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah, this is life. Why would I want to change? Like, you know,
just like prison. I told Sarah this. I've said it a million times. Like you'd be amazed at what you can get used to. Right, your body learns to get used to. I think after a while living on the street, like you would forget. That's where the big change comes from prison. You forget what normal life is on the outside. Like going from the Class D facility that they kept me out, where I never saw daylight for 6 months.
That was a long time.
And then I got shipped to prison. I felt free, even though I was going to prison, because I got to smell the world.
Right.
Like I got to see people on the highway. It was fucking baffling, you know. But you'd be amazed at what your body starts to get used to and your mind starts to get used to, and you forget about certain things that, you know, obvious things you forget about. And it's like, waking up to that, like after a while, I don't think that homeless guy would even realize like a home is an option, or
Right.
you know, it's so strange, man, to
Yeah.
think about. Could you?
What's up?
What is that?
All I know is that
cups and change.
if I ever did end up homeless, I'm immediately like moving to like the Florida Keys.
Yeah, 'cause you're not an idiot.
I always thought that too. What do you think that is that, you know, because we all have roots, right? For
Yeah.
one reason or another, you stay close to home for a certain reason because you know it or your family or whatever. It always baffled me that like homeless people will stay in the same area.
Yeah, that's I don't get that.
You're a free range chicken.
Right.
Like go to Florida.
Like I would go to where
shit.
I'm not going to freeze to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's at least beautiful for the most part.
Maybe
like-
that implies there aren't nearly as many homeless people as would be led to believe.
Okay.
Or
Or-
they're homeless because they're fucking stupid.
Or they're just all going to California.
Fucking
They're just gonna band together
Or
one
maybe
day.
the cold doesn't bother them.
There's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm homeless because I love the cold.
yeah,
that's why I chose this.
Not what I said, but
By the
okay.
way, did you all see the thing where LMPD cleared out the camps?
No, man.
Like whenever the cold, like got really cold a couple weeks ago, like
oh,
some of the
sure. They're like, let's get rid of all this
like
shit
those
now.
people, like yeah, they went to warming centers or to shelter, like a shelter that would take them for the night. Yeah,
Right.
LMPD just went and cleared their shit out.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Now they
They
weren't
weren't?
supposed to do that.
Oh, of course not. No.
And it was basically the new chief basically said that, oh yeah, that was a misunderstanding.
No, it wasn't.
Whatever,
You
dude.
said go get rid of this shit because I don't like them fucking
Yeah.
being there, even though they're not like in the way. They were so far off the beaten path.
Oh yeah, we
We've
had to
been down
like
there.
we had to
It's-
turn on 4-wheel drive to get over there.
Hell yeah. I mean, oops, sorry.
You're good.
It wasn't
Go
like they're in the middle of the fucking road.
They were hidden,
Yeah.
really hidden. I
Not
had to ask
disturbing
2
anybody.
homeless
Leave
people
them the
where
fuck
it was.
alone.
I had to get directions from the
Yeah,
homeless
dude, we had to
people.
keep getting directions. They're like, "Well, do you know where this is?"
I have no
awesome.
clue, but yeah, that I had talked to that
Pisses me
police
off.
officer buddy of mine, and he was like, "Yeah, we just move them from one place to another." But that's the thing; they become malicious in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody will start being a little malicious just because they're going through some shit at home, or they have a personal belief that comes into the
You
mix,
know, let's
right?
not try to help them.
Yeah, and then somebody else will do it because they think that guy's cool, and then it just snowballs. We're like, pack it all up.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
fucking moving them out. And then they, you know, God complex comes in, and they just, this is what we're doing now. Because that's fucked up.
Well, it's because they're viewed as less than because
Right.
they don't live the same fucking life as you.
But I mean, what do they contribute to society? I mean, just from the perspective of limited resources, like the
So
whole
why
thing
not
of
give
like,
them more resources so they can contribute something?
I mean, some of them, like if they fall on hard times and they genuinely like don't know what the hell to do. But I mean, how many of those exist?
I think actually the majority of people who become homeless, it's just like a short period of time.
Right?
I don't know the actual percentage.
I don't
but,
know the actual percentage either. I get the point you're trying to make, buddy.
Yeah.
And you're very heartless and a
Plus, I
horrible
mean-
person.
I know,
Plus,
thank
but
you.
but if you have like, if it's part of the same like police organization or whatever, like if you're a cop on the beat and you're constantly dealing with homeless people, you're gonna start to recognize the ones that have been there for years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're gonna see the ones that, oh, this guy's new. All right. Well,
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
all
there
right.
are a lot of them out there that do have mental problems. Like some were in
A whole lot,
institutions
yeah.
that got shut down, like in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically during the mid 2000s, Mitch Daniels had to shut down a lot of like mental institutions, and those that didn't get picked up into nonprofit organizations for assisted living. The ones that didn't get picked up ended up on the streets.
Right.
So now you just have like people who are developmentally disabled walking the streets that don't know what they're doing
Right.
and have no skills to do anything.
And let's not
Yeah.
try
What
to
do you
help
do then?
these fucking people. Yeah.
Well, you just shoot them.
Okay, fair enough. That's the Nazi outlook.
Because I mean, it's.
I'm serious.
No,
that's,
I think I
that's
know
the Nazi
where-
outlook.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to a degree, that's fine. But I mean, I see not doing that because it's like, oh, we're all people, you know, help them out. You
Yeah,
know,
But
don't-
if they're
see
not
the beauty
serving a
in them.
purpose,
Well, I mean, it's like if you look at nature and you just think of animals, you know, like the weak ones get eaten by the predators.
so
Yep.
we should go to that. Okay, cool.
Because I mean,
Kinda.
otherwise we're just going to build up this society
Of weakness.
of
A
weakness.
There we go.
Yeah.
Or a society that's built on helping one another. Why does it have to be weakness because you choose to help someone rather than act like they're not a fucking human?
Well, I
No,
mean,
he says we should leave the weak behind. Fuck them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Help
Like,
them.
She doesn't like that.
No,
well, I mean, it's a matter of balance. Because, I mean, helping people is good. But at what point does helping people then just
Become a
bring down
burden.
society?
Yeah.
Like, if
Well,
you're
I mean,
only as strong as your
certainly, like-
weakest link,
There-
then there comes a point. I'm not saying, like,
You get rid
start
of the link.
at the point to where you're like, let's just fucking wipe them all out. But, I mean, you can only help so much before it's a lost cause.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yep.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And then once it
100%.
gets to
I
that
do too.
point, then we need to turn on the heartlessness. But don't start there. Like, I'm not saying start there.
Okay, I thought you were saying start there.
Hell yeah. It's absolutely
No,
what
it's
it
like we
sound
need
like.
to
Yeah.
somehow, like, objectively keep track of
Decide,
these people.
yeah.
Well,
Like,
there-
oh,
Pick
homeless
a
guy,
score.
homeless guy A, Jeff Gordon, you know? Okay, we've seen him 6 months. What is he doing to use the resources that we've given him?
Right.
Great. He's doing something? All right, let's keep helping him.
Because they got
This guy, nothing. Shoot him.
You gotta, because at a certain point, and I feel like we're gonna have a lot of that because they got rid of a lot of the skilled labor classes in school and stuff. I think, and all this big dream about being a YouTube star or this or that or whatever, right? A lot of people growing up today think that they can make it doing these things when in reality there's a formula that has worked forever. Trades, building shit, and going to college and doing something as far as intellectually, right? That's kind of dumbed down, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, they're getting rid of a lot of that, and a lot of kids are growing up now like playing video games and thinking they're going to become rich YouTube video game influencers and blah blah blah.
I mean, that's just like everybody that wants to be a rapper for a living.
Same thing.
Playing
Yeah.
in the NBA.
Yeah, and then you're going to have this this rapid growth of homelessness or weak links. You know what I mean? So I agree because at a certain point, the burden becomes overwhelming, right? And you're overwhelmed with this burden that you can't. There's nothing you can do for some of those people, right? It's
Right.
like the drug addict just won't get sober. Sometimes you just can't do anything.
I mean, and I agree with that completely, but what I'm saying is that as of now, they're not doing anything to fucking help them.
Oh,
They're
yeah, they're
running
not
them
giving
out
any
of the
resource.
places that they've finally found to settle down and feel some kind of security.
Right.
Like that fucking helps anything.
So you're saying we gotta, yeah. Well,
You
definitely
gotta
because they're not
start
offering nothing.
Trying to help,
And
Yeah.
but
not
And-
just ignore them.
there are some things out there to help them, but it's very limited.
Yeah,
like
it's
It's not
just not
accessible
enough.
for a
it's
lot
not,
of them.
yeah, I mean, you maybe say you have, like, we'll just say low number. There's 100 homeless people. 5 of them can get resources.
Right. It's fucking absurd.
Right. And
So-
then comes back to I'm going to fight this other guy. I'm going to war with this other guy so I can get the class.
Seriously, yeah.
Because fuck him. I deserve it more.
But then, I mean, it also comes down to the idea that the money is being used inefficiently.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
most definitely being used
Yeah.
inefficiently.
So until it's
Yeah.
used efficiently, then fuck them.
No,
I mean,
this-
education is so fucked.
I
So
agree.
it's like, oh, let's give more to the homeless people, and let's just take away from education.
Speaking
I
of,
feel like education's gotten enough. They need to learn to fucking use the resources right.
I feel like you can't say that whenever the teachers are paying for their own resources.
Right. Yeah, they're having a big, that's a big, but, healthcare's in the shitter. Education's in the
Everything's
shitter.
fucked.
Everything's fucked. They paint this big dream about what America is and what you can do and all that. And in reality, for the majority of people, when you boil it down, even if you're kind of like you have a house and a car, stuff, for the majority of people, America, fuck, whatever. Like, it's whatever. It's not even like the land of like this beautiful paved in gold fucking road. It's not as good as they lead you to believe. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it also puts in the question. It's so easy to become homeless. I think so easy to lose it all because if I wasn't with you, and I was trying to make it on my own and whatever, make shit happen, right? I fall on one hard time, I'm done. Like, it would be hard enough making my life work by myself in a house and all that to start with. But then put in the wreck or put in a health problem or whatever. a mental breakdown,
Drug abuse.
abuse,
And that's that
quickly.
But in that when you bring that up, but that's whenever you'll have the argument from those that are, I guess, the haves. They would basically say, "Well, you have to prepare for that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
You have to have that. You have to have a savings. If
Those
you don't
are the
have
people who should get bullets in the
Yeah.
fucking face,
If
not
you-
the homeless
or
people.
like it's like if you don't have 6 months savings
Right.
to keep you going, you're a failure.
Yeah, which
How
is
many
no
people?
one.
That is so absurd to say, especially in America. And then think about the person working 3 minimum wage jobs. I'm telling
How
you, they don't
can't
even
you
have.
make it?
Yeah. I want to punch
get
those
that.
people out so much.
Well,
it's like,
That's one actually going back to education. There was an article I saw this week from Baltimore City Schools. It was a kid with his GPA was 0.12. He had only passed 3 classes his entire 4 years and missed about 250 days of school.
Shoot him. Graduation
Hold on,
day.
hold on. He wasn't allowed to graduate, but he was a senior. He was a senior classman, and they told him right before graduation that you wouldn't be able to graduate and you'd have to redo 9th grade.
yeah.
His mother didn't know because apparently they only tried to call her in for one parent-teacher conference.
Yeah.
So that's part of the failure of the schools. But at the same time, the mother says she was working 3 jobs
Yeah.
to support her family. So I'm wondering, is that a failure on the parent? Is the
parent or
failure on the school? Or is the failure on everything?
It's all of it.
Yeah, I think it all plays in, right?
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, you have to make your money to support your family, but if you're not paying attention to what your family's doing, then
What's the
then
sense
what the
of
fuck
it?
are you doing?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to pay attention though to? I mean, in that much detail, I'm sure she knew some shit going on when she's working 3 fucking jobs. Like, she shouldn't have to work 3 fucking
That's
jobs.
what I'm
She
saying.
shouldn't have to, but if you can't look at a report card for 20 seconds
Right.
and see that your kid's failing, then that's
think-
fucked. Like, look at it on your lunch break.
If
and if you
America,
don't get one, call the school.
if America was the place that they paint it to be to everybody else, right? You could work 1 job. You'd be taken care of with like health insurance, all that shit. You wouldn't have to worry about your health because you could go to the doctor for preventative maintenance all the time if you needed to. People wouldn't fucking have no teeth
Yeah.
in their head because you could go to the dentist and
Right.
get preventative care,
Except
right?
in the cut.
What'd you say?
In the cut.
Except in the cut.
Oh, yeah.
They like having no teeth out there.
It's kind of a thing. But they
Cuts its own place.
You get what I'm saying? If it was that place, you wouldn't have to worry. You wouldn't have to have 6-7 months of savings because you would be comfortable enough to work your 40 hours a week, be fine, know that your health is taken care of, know that the educational system is taken care of because they're on their shit. They're paying attention.
Right.
Like you could then put more time into your family, into your life, and people could create more and do more. Never gonna happen.
What if all this crap is a deterrent to get people out of America because we realize it's not sustainable
They're like, "We're
if
fucking sick of
everybody
people."
has a good life here?
Like,
Give us your sick and your poor. It's like, well, we can't keep that going.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
we
I-
gotta make it suck.
I honestly want out.
Yeah.
I want,
Yeah.
like I've told Sarah this, like been texting back and forth. I want out. I like if I have the money to get out, I'm getting out.
Where are you
Hell
going?
yeah.
New Zealand.
Motherfucking New Zealand, man.
Temperate
See-
climate has all the biomes. Come on.
Yeah.
That comes, and you're a well-traveled.
That's awesome.
I mean, you've been to a lot of places,
I've only been to like, okay, so I've spent like 30 minutes or about an hour
You
in
lived
England.
abroad.
Yes, I lived a year and a half in the Middle East, but in regards to traveling multiple places, I think I spent like an hour in Italy, an hour in England. I spent 3 hours in the Azores. That's,
The fuck is that?
it's a island chain in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay.
That was a layover while the plane was getting refueled.
yeah. But you've seen more than the typical person.
Yes,
Right.
You could say that, yeah.
So I mean, you see what the world could be in other places. Like you said, though, you didn't spend enough time to know, socially speaking, what it was like there.
What most like other countries, like the Middle East, I could see because I lived a half a mile from one of the poorest places I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
I mean, it was
Atlanta.
yeah.
Dude.
I mean, but it was like it was almost like it was a paved road, but it was covered in sand a lot of times. There was everybody there was really poor and did not wear deodorant.
Yeah.
And we lived in this compound that was nothing but richer people. It was like there's one family next door that was a British family. They were pretty well off.
So you lived in a gated community in the Middle East.
Yeah,
the Middle East.
I lived in a gated community in the Middle East. And we had our whatchamacallit, our door guy, or the guy who watched the gate.
Jeeves.
No, his name was Banda. Banda. He was from Sri Lanka. He was really nice.
These foreigners don't just pull themselves up by the bootstraps. We're not foreigners.
Banda was awesome, by the way. He would do anything you asked. He was really nice.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, he was great.
That's but yeah, I forgot where.
Oh, like living overseas, like knowing what life is like for other people.
Yeah,
But
I think that helps in the sense of me talking to a Muslim gentleman at a gas station I visit regularly. He was like, he was pissed one day, irate. He was like, they call it the land of the free, and everybody wants to get over here. He was like, I can't wait to go back home. Because I guess his family comes over and that a certain amount of them work for a while and then they go back over and stuff. And he said he couldn't wait to go back because of health insurance, because of the way that people are to one another. And that's eye-opening, man.
It's just getting progressively worse. I think like all the bullshit would
getting any
be
better,
okay,
yeah.
but if people were, if your interactions every day were decent,
Yeah.
it makes it a lot more bearable to deal with the fact that your health insurance is as much as your mortgage.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Sooner or later, man, that's the ball is going to drop on a lot of things. And I think coronavirus brought to light a lot of our issues and how fragile the entire system is. So it's going to be a rude awakening. And you know what? If China has to be the one to come in and save the day, like,
Save
what do you
us,
do at that
China.
point? If another country has to come in and save your ass, like, you can't really blame them for taking over, and you can't keep your, like, rebel fucking redneck bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, at a certain point, you have to get over control, because China, I don't think they're hurting. I mean, they work very long hours, and they're very stressed out, but they're a developing country. Like, you have to, in a certain sense.
Well, think about China. They have, 1.3 billion people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they have a growing middle class. For them, for their middle class, that's about maybe 600 million people would be their middle class. Then you'd have maybe 10 million in their upper class, and the rest are in that very, very lower class where, yes, they are forced to work long hours. They have those iPhone factories where they put nets up around the building so
Right.
people don't jump off the building and kill themselves.
Yeah.
Because we need you to keep making those iPhones.
So it's China's. The reason they I guess it's the Louis C.K. joke from one of his specials a while ago. How did you build the pyramids? Oh, we just threw a whole bunch of human suffering at it.
Absolutely.
How do you have
That's
this
true.
awesome computer in your hand? Human suffering at it.
That's the same way they're going to colonize Mars. I'm telling you, man. People are going to get tricked, and they're going to get pushed into fucking working.
Slave labor get you to Mars. Yeah,
I'm telling
that's
you, man.
the only way great things happen in this country. How did America build its
Right.
its economy so hard? Well, enslave a bunch of people from Africa.
Yeah.
Like, you can go to Mars for free. All you have to do is all the fucking work.
I think, though, I would definitely, if I could move somewhere, I've never been anywhere overseas at all, but I mean, Ireland, I'd love to go there and ship it. Not saying that I physically right now want to get out, because I hope that, we're able to turn this thing around. But I'm with you, man. Like, I'd go somewhere that, the suffering isn't as much. You know what I mean? It might be a different lifestyle, and the culture might be different. I got to get used to. But there's a lot of suffering over here, man.
Yeah.
And you see it in people's face every day, in the way they walk, and they're slumped, and the way they hold themselves. The suffering is real, even if it's it looks better.
Right.
Like, the picture of it looks better than some other suffering.
The buildings are up to date.
Yes, but the suffering is real, man. And you see it in a lot of people's eyes. And now, you build a family you can't spend any time with. You save all this money that you'll never be able to spend, or you have this house that you're hardly ever in because you're working. You're paying off a fucking car that you never pay off, or a mortgage that you won't pay off until you're dead. Like,
Right.
it's just there's a lot of suffering, man, and it doesn't have to be that way. I don't think.
I feel
I
like
don't
it
think
does.
You think so?
Life should be. There should be challenges to life.
Yeah, 'cause
You should
I
struggle.
just think about on a daily basis of my life personally, just the upkeep. It's just draining. But then you think about that in terms of society. If you want to keep society where it is, you're going to have that draining upkeep.
What's your upkeep like?
Going to work.
Is that it?
Laundry.
Okay.
Dishes.
Yeah.
All that shit. And then you think, oh, I want to create something. I want more than what I have. So then you have to work more.
Yeah.
And then you're too tired to do the laundry and the dishes and shit. But that stuff doesn't stop.
Nope. Doesn't
So
stop.
with society,
That piles up on
the
the
stuff
other
that's
stuff.
already there doesn't stop. So if you want it to be better, you got to throw suffering at it.
Or
Yeah.
methamphetamine. You get more shit done.
That would be great short term, but then when you get everybody off of it, all right, we built it. Everything's great. Now come off of it.
I was thinking just you personally doing meth, not
Oh,
like,
I was thinking you get
like an
society
individual
messed up.
basis.
Let's start them off low. Let's just get them a prescription of Adderall. Then we'll
Hell
go
yeah.
from there.
Food
Slowly
production is
rise
really
them.
high, but nobody's eating any of it.
I would say, yeah, dude.
I just solved all the
Resources would be better.
problems.
Yeah,
awesome.
resources would definitely lighten up.
So I mean, if people don't suffer, as annoying as it is, I feel like society would just go back.
I can see it. Yeah.
What do you mean go back? Like it would just fall apart?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'd fall
as far as
apart. Because I mean,
progression.
the infrastructure would rot. Everything would fall
The
apart.
infrastructure is already rotting.
It would rot faster.
Okay.
That's I think though in a certain sense we're already headed for a terrible winter, if you will. Like we're gonna be in a terrible winter for a very long time. And it's gonna be hard to get out of that. And nobody's gonna want to work, especially over here, because there's no incentive to do that, right? You know, those other countries, I think they do the work for one reason or another. But there's more of an incentive, like they're taken care of. They live a certain percentage longer than we do. Their life, although it's a different culture, they live a little bit better than we do. As far as their health and like they have resources, stuff like that. It's sad, man, but you know, people travel to Mexico to get, you know, health care. Think about that. They travel to get prescriptions and health care to Mexico.
Did you know what I've taken away from this podcast?
What's that?
Cut to the chase and kill yourself.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. That's why I tell you. Like, I say it, but
That's the title. Cut to the chase and kill yourself.
Done. I'll write it down.
I think of suicide all the time. Not, you know what I mean? I'm like, comfortable with the thought in my head. But you think about, like, how fucking easy would that be? And if life
Right.
is better on that other side, or if it's nothing,
Right.
like, whatever it is.
That's the only thing that would probably keep me from doing it is like, well, there's actually a couple reasons. Like, one, FOMO. I'm fear of missing out what's going to happen here. Like,
FOMO.
FOMO, man.
Fuck you. Get out of the house.
See y'all later. No, and there's also like, I don't want to leave Kristen behind.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Because-
Find
fun.
somebody better.
Well, no, it's just if something happens to me, like how depressed would Kristen be?
Right.
Like I don't want her to have to go through that.
Right.
I mean, and suicide's very selfish too.
I feel
Yeah.
like for the most part,
Without a doubt.
I don't know.
I'm pretty happy.
In some ways, but
I don't really want to leave.
Sarah, but that's what we were talking
Yeah,
about,
fuck
man.
you, Ian.
I
Sorry.
have more of a, you know what I mean? Like, I'm more emotional. I'm more what that, like, Sarah is easygoing. Like, nothing really fucks with her mentally. She doesn't have to be doing a whole lot and shit. Me, man, I'm always hard on myself. I'm always thinking that, like, danger's right around the corner. Like, something's going to fuck up and I'm going to have to do it. Like, everything's a destructive, like, mindset for me. And I'm always like, oh, looking for the next step. Whereas Sarah's just cool, calm, and collected, which we balance each other out. But I just wish there was a certain part of me that would just fucking stop worrying all the
Right.
goddamn time.
I just want to dive into this for a minute because it irritates me when people say suicide's selfish.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I think it's more selfish that people say that and they're against it because if you think, oh, suicide's selfish, you're really thinking, but I'm going to be sad if you die.
Oh,
I want
so
you to keep
double
living
selfish.
so I'm not sad.
The double selfish.
I don't want to miss
Shit,
you.
son.
Shut the fuck up. You don't know anything about the suffering of somebody that actually takes their own life.
How many people would be sad if you killed yourself?
I don't know. 12?
I'd be on the list. But I think, though...
So that's 12 people you'd end up pissing off for that act.
Yeah, who cares? If my life is so bad that I'm actually going to kill myself genuinely.
Selfish. Who
Like,
cares?
if those
No.
people can't fix me and make my life livable,
Right.
fuck them.
Why can't you fix yourself?
Because my brain would be so messed
Yeah,
up.
so that's a
Yeah.
It's
mental
like,
health
I mean,
thing.
yeah, if you just don't think that people kill themselves because they're mentally unwell, then fine, fix yourself. But people that kill themselves aren't mentally well.
Yeah,
It's
they're
not
way
like they
far gone.
that was their first choice. They're
Yeah.
trying and trying.
I had a
and
terrible
trying.
day.
Oh, right.
No, it's
right.
been a
My
bad
boss
3
yelled
years.
at me.
I think about it a lot, and actually thinking about the act and how I would do it. Like I don't specifically know, because you have to be mentally unwell to actually go through with the act.
Yeah.
Like
No.
of any of it, like jumping off a bridge, taking drag, anything like that. Unless it's just accidental and it happens without you knowing.
Right.
Right.
It takes a lot out of a motherfucker to actually do it. You know what I mean?
That's a very real moment.
Which I worry about for you, mainly because of your line of work.
I know.
The accidental legs are shocked that.
I'm jacked about that. Me and this army vet was talking about it, and he was talking about people in the line, working 600 volts and above, and like if you you're like there's no, I accidentally shocked myself like I do every week.
Because imagine if that didn't kill you, and then you have to
you'd be
fucking
done.
live. You'd be like twitchy
But,
and fucking burnt up, and
Thinking about that, like I've been pulled in a panel once, I've been shocked off a ladder, like real big shocks. I've been shocked a million times, but big ones that like brought to reality how quick it would be done. Like I'm okay with it happening like that because I wouldn't know. Like
There's that.
There's just
Quick
one
and
day
painless.
I touch it and I'm done. I don't even have to think about what it would do to other people, what would happen, like who's gonna suffer what. They're gonna get the opportunity. I think it's selfish to think it's selfish, and it's selfish to do it. See how it's all selfish because we have emotion behind it, because we as humans have to attach emotion to everything. And I think the person that does suicide has no more emotion left. They're mentally incapable of having those emotions, and that's why they're in that position
there's
to make
only
the
one
decision.
way out.
There's only one way out of
Right.
it. So I think that, a lot of all that decision and shit plays into emotion with humans anyways. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
I can see that.
I think animals do suicide because some of them just run at your tire. Like I think there's some deers that are just like fuck it.
Absolutely, dude. I've
Done.
seen some animals for sure suicide themselves.
Tired of eating shit off the ground.
Yeah, dude. I just want a fucking steak on a plate. Be
But-
awesome.
Fair point. I on your saying it is not selfish. Fair point.
Thanks, man.
But do you see how that small point, that small thing you said is not even black and white. The smallest of points
yeah.
that you can
it's-
make is never black and white.
Everybody's perspective is different.
Ain't that just crazy to think about? There's so
just-
many different options to one little fucking
Right.
detail.
Right. Well, everything is personalized,
Complex.
essentially. Just because
Makes
I
it annoying.
Yeah,
It
just
does,
because
don't it?
I don't think that you should shoot homeless people doesn't mean that I'm fucking right. I mean, it might be fun. I don't know. I've never
Well, it's
done
one of
it.
those things like in certain circumstances you would be right,
Right.
and in others you're not.
Yeah.
But-
Absolutely.
It's
But
just
you're
digging
definitely
through-
right.
It's just going through the mud and saying, all right, we're
We're just gonna
we
keep
gonna
going
do
through the
here?
mud.
gonna
Keep
take
going
case
deeper.
by case basis, and then
Yeah.
who's got
Yeah.
time for that?
No one.
Not in the situation we're in now. We don't have time to do that
Like,
shit.
homeless people would if they had half a brain. They could just outsource it to them. What are you doing? Here, solve this.
But
Solve this
in
problem for me.
in a certain situation, it's almost like we're breeding that type of human at this point because the education system, health and shit, everything we've talked about, that's breeding somebody who has no ability to pull themselves up by the bootstrap and make something different for their life. Because a lot of those people, they have a one-track mind, like, getting $1 for a cup of coffee or a beer or whatever, and then just eat shit, sleep, find a
They're-
little place to put my cardboard box, and then that's it.
They're
Like,
truly present.
yeah. But then,
In the fucking moment, man.
maybe they're living the fucking life, and we're the ones that are, living that terrible life that we project onto them. Like, I don't know.
It's possible. I mean,
You know what I
there's-
mean?
I'd say some probably feel that way.
Like they need to paint their faces and grow out their fingernails. So to be like in India and shit, you know, you see all those holy men, you know, land
Yeah.
the streets and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
you know, it's like, oh, they've got it together. They're just working on their spiritual side
Spiritual
That's
journey,
right.
yeah,
instead of
dude.
just being crazy.
Well, I think you still have that with some people that don't find themselves getting locked into the system because the system is very inviting. Like whenever you first get out of high school,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, come on in. Hey,
Everything's
here's some
new and
student loans. Come
exciting.
to college, or oh, why don't you go do this?
Here's a clear path to not being fucked.
Right.
Yeah.
But it actually is fucking you. It's locking you into this, like, get a
Quickly.
home,
Yeah.
Quickly,
put down
yeah.
roots, get in there. Well, there's some people, I guess, you had a lot of this, I guess, in the 50s and 60s, but you don't see much of it now, is people that just take off. Like
Yeah.
they'll
Oh,
work
you
for
don't,
someplace, they'll work someplace, get a method of transportation
Fucking
together,
vagabond.
and just boom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You don't see it a lot no more.
Yeah. It's like,
you used
oh,
to.
I'll rent a room somewhere in this town for like a few months.
I've
Yeah.
talked
Work-
about doing that shit, and I never did it
Right.
because I thought it would be really cool.
Right. And if you have no debts, like why, like if you have no roots or debts to hold you down, why wouldn't you do it?
Well,
Right.
and
If you had debts, it would be more of a reason, I think. I mean, like,
Well, you
you
got
know,
to end up
school
paying.
debt.
Yeah. Well, you got to still end up paying that.
Eventually, they're going to get you.
you
Right.
ain't got to do a goddamn thing.
But I guess people that do that are the truly free ones. who would
That's
say.
it, yeah.
Button of that.
I
gotta do it,
I think,
goddamn.
but ain't that crazy though? Like she said, like that she talked about it and never did it. There was something holding you back from that.
I
Like,
get super homesick.
yeah, what is that? You know about
Yeah.
our being that we're like, we're stuck in this one place. It's easy to pick up and move. Go
There are
somewhere.
times that I still get homesick for like just going to mom and dad's house. Every once in a while, I just feel like I need to be there. I mean, most of the time, no, because this is for sure like
fuck 'em,
my
it's
new
Indiana.
home. But right, but there are times that it's that longing to be there for whatever reason.
I wonder why
That's-
that stopped though. The people that just go out and travel like, fuck it, dude, I'm just gonna roam the earth until whatever. Like,
Too
why
many
that?
murderers on the planet now.
Cost
Well, it could
of
be that.
everything went
Getting
up.
raped.
There's that too.
What'd you say?
The cost of everything went up.
Oh, it's harder to travel to those different locations. And
Plus,
just
people became
work.
less handy.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
It's like,
very
oh,
true.
here you go. Here's some history. Well, what am I going to build with
I'm
this?
gonna build with history. They every time we go to Florida or South Carolina, any vacation we take, I take my tools with me. I think I've said this probably, but
Smart.
Just in
Yeah.
case I need an escape boat.
no, just in case, like if we're there and all the credit cards get shut down or something fucking crazy happens or the vehicle breaks down, I have my tools, or I could work a little job to get us back home or whatever.
Right.
Fuck
Like
yeah.
I always take my tools, like running the risk of them being stolen or whatever. But it's worth it to know, like I have that because I know that I can do a lot of shit with this bag of tools I have. Like I can do a
Right.
lot of shit.
I feel like you only need like 3 tools and you can do just about anything,
That's
and
it,
the
yeah.
rest are just fluff.
But how many people do you think
Like a drummer
can
with
carry
20-piece set.
Yeah,
How many
dude.
people do you think that could carry around that, like especially when you're talking about homeless or the mentally disabled or something that could, or the kids getting out of school, the ones that are trapped and shit could actually do more than what's put in front of them or told to them to do.
Right.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That's the hard thing. We're always looking for that direction. But, you know, when you're forced to build where there is nothing, like no plan,
Well, how
like
do
what do
I
you
do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think we lack and we need to start teaching is being resourceful. Is that the
Yeah.
word?
Resourceful and
absolutely.
creative.
Yeah.
You don't want to teach independence, though. How are you going to have your willing
Oh,
slaves?
yeah, I know. That's
You got to have your willing slaves.
How are we going to get to Mars?
We got to get to Mars. Get the slaves.
Get the slaves.
Release
Hey.
the slaves.
How mad do you think Elon Musk was when that fucking thing landed and it was A-okay and then out of
Bitch
nowhere it
blew
blew
up.
up? Nothing was...
I honestly bet he laughed.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he laughed.
It's the funniest
Of course
shit.
it blew
Adam
up.
sent me the first video of it landing and was like, how cool is this? And then after I got to the end, I got the next one of it exploding. I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, it was
happened
super...
here?
I was like, oh, fuck, that sucks.
Oh, yeah, I guarantee you he laughed his ass off at
Yeah,
it.
man.
That's, I mean, you know, when they eventually, like, you're going to blow up enough where you go bankrupt, bro. Like, you might want to do side projects, which I know he has.
You,
but-
well, you have to. You have to fuck up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like the space is not perfect still. I mean, how many astronauts did we lose prior to actually having successful orbit?
Monkeys or humans?
We actually lost a few humans. I think it was Apollo 1 actually had casualties, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
Look, he's about to find out.
Like,
Let's go with 12.
I was thinking 7.
like other than like in the 60s.
I also thought 8.
Yeah.
50s.
Before, did you say before Apollo 11, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 15.
Lost 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
So close.
7 and 8 combined.
Man.
Shit.
But yeah, I mean, you have to, for lack of a better phrase, you have to break.
Got to.
To make an omelet, you got to break some eggs.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. Yeah. I think that he understands that the most. But then again, he's not going to shy away from enslaving a lot of people. No.
I wonder how many of his contracts have the word slave or some synonym of slave.
Or like a souped up, like new age term.
Souped up slaves.
It doesn't specifically mean.
Hit him with that bisque.
It's like, some whatever. It's going to give a really good name, but it's actually like it's a slave, like technically, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't think he's gonna shy with like the people that work for him and the people that like have quit and gone elsewhere and shit. They talk about that guy like he's a motherfucking tyrant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be like, I'd pull his hair plugs out and be like, "Fuck you, man."
That's right.
I'd
Assume
lose
they're
my
taking root.
shit.
It's just hair now.
It's real now, man.
Yeah,
I assume
it's
because
legit.
he's so hard on himself and has such a crazy work ethic. It's like if people don't have that, he's like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
This is why you get nowhere."
You're in my dream. So you fucking work how I want.
Speaking of new exploration,
I get him.
exploration. You bought the new book from Jordan Peterson.
Right.
12 more rules for life? Is that what it's called? Have you read any of it?
I've listened to some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it expanded any better than the last
I
book
don't
did.
read.
No, you don't.
Because some people they'll write another book to something as like a sequel or some shit because the first one did so well that they're like, well, I'll make a little bit more money throwing another one at it.
Yeah.
Or if there's like some viable fucking information in the new book. I didn't know how far you.
Yeah, it'll come in handy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about getting it. Like I was just wondering.
But then it's like, it'll come in handy, but only if you really listen and think about other stuff connecting to it. Because it's more that here's an assload of things to think about. Connect the dots.
Kind of like the book that you sent me. Like I'm having to go reread while I'm going through it or re-listen. Because it's very complex.
It's like if a dumbass wants stuff spelled out for him, they're probably going to lose interest.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Like the first book, I think was pretty spelled out. Like you're saying. I mean, he tied a bunch of shit together, and it was very complex, huge book.
Yeah.
But then again, like I think it was more for a layman, a smart layman, if you will. You know what I mean? Like an intelligent layman.
Only thing I've ever really heard about, I've heard people criticize Jordan Peterson. I can't really criticize him because I've never really listened to him, nor have I read his books. The only common consensus I've heard about his first, like the 12 Steps book, was it was all just really basic, general stuff that you should already know.
I guess kind of when you boil it down, maybe.
That was the main consensus from a lot of other people.
That's the root of it.
It's like,
I would say. But
they were basically saying, why is this special? This is common sense.
I think
not
it is
everyone's got that shit.
Yeah, it's common. I wouldn't even say it's common sense, but I'd say it's like foundational stuff.
Okay.
Where like you wouldn't necessarily know it if you had a shitty upbringing, but a lot of it is like things that I feel like Thoss taught me.
Okay.
But articulated.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like, I guess that's why I haven't read it. Like, because I tried to read The Art of War, and all of that shit. I mean, just basically from how we're brought up, that's just basic bullshit. I mean, it's all like, wow, in like 900 AD, this would have been revolutionary, but now it's just like, why do I need to read this?
Well, because it builds a stronger foundation. Because I feel like there are people. Okay, look, before
No.
you give me that face.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to give you a face.
Because like whenever,
I mean no disrespect.
I just think in terms of like whenever mom was working with the special ed kids and shit in elementary school, there were kids that didn't know how to brush their teeth or wash their hands properly. So to think that there are people like that in the world, that's a great book.
Well, and maybe they knew how to do it, but not properly. So the stuff might have been taught, but it wasn't taught in a way that would be usable to the person that it was taught to. So I guess he lays it out and then gives you background, explanation, description, and really,
Examples.
yeah, I think
but
more so.
It's good to have the examples and because it strengthens your argument instead of just saying, "Oh, I think this."
Yeah,
It's like, well, here's why this isn't fucking wrong.
right. And I think a lot of people attach to Jordan Peterson because of the way he thinks and expands on ideals, and we don't have a lot of that for not normal people, but we're not in school, not in college anymore, stuff like that. So for him to bring that into a mainstream and have it usable right at the borderline between too intellectual, way above my head, and right, oh, I understand this shit, right? He pulled that close line and allowed people like me, I don't feel like intellectually speaking, I can fucking swing a hammer, but it allowed me to feel like I was doing something more than myself. You know what I mean? I was learning something beyond what I normally would learn because of the way he tied things together.
It makes me feel like I'm in a philosophy class in college.
Okay.
Like when I'm listening to shit, I'm like, this is all self-evident. But to have it laid out explicitly, it's kind of nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a breath of fresh air.
It's like it helps organize your thoughts and be motivated to better yourself.
Okay. Fair enough.
No, Couch did homework.
Oh,
I
Talk about what he wants to talk
All right,
about.
No,
well,
man, I just
hold
had
on.
a few things.
Give me a second. I gotta take a
Open your
piss.
fucking book.
I'll be
bitch.
right back.
We're talking about some of that shit. Does any of it rhyme?
No. It's something that's. We got. Should I wait for the Adam on the space hotel?
No. Fuck him.
Or did you already? I sent it to you.
I think I sent it to him.
Did you? You
I
know about
don't
the
know.
space hotel?
Yeah.
Oh, I sent it to you.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I told him about it.
Okay.
I was about to start yelling at you. I was like, "You fucking sent it to me." But you sent it to me.
Oh, something wild last night, like UFC.
Yeah.
One of the title fights was Aljamain Sterling versus Peter Yan. Yan was a champion. It was the fourth round. Yan was basically starting to take over the fight, and Aljamain was on the ground, and he had one knee on the ground. Okay, so that means you're a grounded fighter. You can punch them, but you can't use your legs to strike them.
Okay.
The champion then kneed the guy in the face.
Wow.
And he was aware that this guy the ref said he's a grounded fighter.
Right.
So he kneed him in the face. So what happens in that situation is ref stops the fight, tries to make sure the guy who just got hit can continue. If he cannot continue, the fight's over and he wins.
That's awesome. That's how it should be.
And he wins the belt.
Hell yeah! It's like you know the rule. Don't knee the guy in the face.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
shit.
that's what happened last night. But the thing is, like the post-fight interview with Rogan, like this poor guy that had won the fight, he was freaking crying because he didn't want to win it this way.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He
I
was
can see
so
that.
sad.
Hell yes.
Like
I know you're sad about winning this way, but have you ever done DMT?
have you ever tried elk?
It always looks so good.
It does, doesn't it? But I bet it's gamey as hell.
I'll still eat it. It's undercooked.
But no, like yeah, it was just I felt so bad for the guy. It almost had me crying because
Hell yeah.
how bad I felt for him.
It sucks. So like, why you gotta be a dick? Why you gotta kick him in the face, dude?
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Well, that's the thing. They like his corner was actually yelling out for him to kick in Russian. Like one of the coaches was like, yes, 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 and the other coach was like, fuck, why did you do that?
So you should challenge the guy to a rematch.
They're
no holds barred.
Yeah,
It's all legal.
all legal, buddy.
That's right. Do it.
Then Joe Rogan throws a chair in.
But
My God!
But there's actually one other thing because you were talking about the God complex thing about cops earlier. So I don't know if you all saw this. It's like Senate Bill 211.
Yes, it
You know
pisses
about
me
it?
the fuck off.
You know about it?
It's so absurd.
Okay, so The Kentucky State Senate is trying to make it to where it's a 2-part bill. So if you are arrested during a protest or a riot, it's a mandatory 48-hour hold.
Right.
Man, no way out of it. There's no bailing out of it. It's 48-hour hold.
I already don't like it.
Yeah.
Second part, if you insult a police officer,
Oh.
you're arrested.
Yeah.
God.
You call
Because they're little bitch babies and they can't handle being called a pig.
you call a cop a pig, you're arrested. You're held for
squealing
48
at them
hours.
an insult?
For where is that?
Probably.
Kentucky.
Here, they want to pass it.
The Republican,
Get the fuck out.
they want to pass. It's Senate Bill 211.
That shit better not fucking pass.
It probably will though.
It's, I don't know. It's iffy. If it does pass,
Some bitch shit.
if it does pass, there's no way it's going to get overturned because it's being introduced by the Republicans and they have a super majority that Andy Bashir can't do anything about it.
Damn it. That sucks.
So-
I swear I saw that and I just. It's so like, how big of a baby do you have to be to be like, make it illegal for people to be mean to me?
Right.
I guess fuck freedom of speech.
Well, no, I mean, it just accents. I know that this is probably coming off the tail end of like Black Lives Matter and shit.
That's
Let's not treat
that's the
people
reasoning
better.
for it. Was last summer's riots and
Yeah.
protests.
Well, I mean,
and
I
it's
feel like
only going to make that police state mentality stronger. Like, if people haven't realized how much of a police state you are, a police country, a military run, you're out of your fucking mind. Like, you are, if you get out of line too much, they let you just enough cross that line and they're going to shut that down. That's the same way. They have a reason. You're going to backtalk me? Well, I get to lock you. I have the right to now.
Yeah.
Just like I have the right to search you if I can come up with a probable cause, stuff like
Right.
that.
He
Level
looks
cop.
guilty. I'm just here from-
He just looks guilty. He looks like he's doing something. Probable cause.
His eyebrow raised. Get him.
Get him.
Right.
There has to be guidelines in that manner, like probable cause. But for that, like, they're making it easier to profile. They're making it easy. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't win here. Like, Black
let's-
Lives Matter. If that passes, there was nothing, like, they're just going to
there's
skate
no
around
point.
a different way
Oh,
and
yeah.
figure out how to profile and stop you. You know what I mean? That's some fucked up shit, man.
That's if it passes. I don't know if it will, but if
Good
it does. But there's also another Senate bill coming forward that's trying to strip power from Andy Bashir even further.
Son of a bitch.
So
What point does that serve? Why would he be in office if
Man,
you're
they-
going to strip his power?
they're pissed off that he won.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's it. They're pissed off he won.
Yeah.
And they have the super majority, so they're just like, look, we're going to make it to where you can't do anything.
And it seems like they can take the emotional will of the people. They're like, we fucking hate Uncle Andy. He's making us wear masks. Well,
Yeah,
we'll
get
take
'em.
his power. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all they have to do, man, is play onto that, and you're fucking golden.
So the one thing they're trying to do right now, and this ties into Mitch McConnell as well.
Oh, god damn that guy.
So
Fucking hate
the Kentucky Senate is trying to make it law that whenever there's a vacancy for the U.S. senator in the state of Kentucky, the governor can only pick from 3 approved names by the legislature.
Sarah was telling me that, man. Yeah. Ain't
So-
that fucked up?
And they're all in Mitch McConnell's bloodline.
It's called the Daniel Cameron election bill.
Yeah.
That's what the people are calling it.
Wow, dude. Yeah, she told me that, and because she was thinking that like he's setting himself up for like retiring. He's gonna be
Oh, yeah,
out.
yeah.
So he just wants to pick his people.
He wants his
Yeah.
handpicked successor,
Dude,
and a
I
lot of people
swear.
think it's Daniel Cameron.
I
Fucking better not be. Fuck that dude.
I'm tired. There's so much wrong with that situation, and so much wrong with the fact that you have voted him in every single time. Like, you can't. How do you turn around for
How?
something that you've done to yourself? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how can you get mad at anything when you fucking done it to yourself?
Yep.
Like, he has fucked you over every chance he's gotten.
I'll give him McConnell credit for one thing. The way he's been able to stay in power is impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
yeah.
respect,
Yeah, there's a
Hate the guy, but his game is on point.
His manipulation skills are off the charts.
It's amazing.
with a face like that. I don't know how
He's
that-
what he's accomplished with that face. Come on.
I can't stand the guy, man. I'll be honest. And I told Sarah, it's kind of like a guilty pleasure. In this sense, like, I don't give a shit about learning anything about him, dude, but I dislike him to my core. Something about it's in my gut. I hate this guy. And I don't even know why. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't know why.
He's probably into some fucked up shit, and you can just sense it.
You can just see on him that he just, I'm sure he screwed over a lot of people in his.
Yeah.
No, he
Well,
did.
I just base it on like the idea of anytime there's like that Supreme Court shit going on, if it's Democrat in power, it's like, oh no, we got to take time. If it's Republican, we got to push it through. And
Yeah.
so I mean, I know
Yeah,
it's
that
just
fucking-
it's just a political move. It's like, oh, I want my people to make the choices and all that jazz. But
Yeah.
to be so outspoken and obviously hypocritical, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
That's
Agreed.
all I need.
That's all I need.
That's Mitch.
Yeah.
Strange, man.
That's that pussy ball shit.
Scary.
Yeah.
But no, the other one, dude, you best believe, like, there's a high probability that I'll be locked up because I have nothing good to say about most cops. I mean, there's a handful of them or whatever, but the way they conduct themselves and the way that they're allowed to search, and I mean, watch any, even on like traffic stops that are by their book,
Right.
so to speak. I don't think, and I don't feel is right. Like I don't feel like their tactics are right. I don't feel like I don't feel like another human should be able to fucking police another human. Like, yeah, I don't like cops. So I feel like there's a high probability I'm going to say some shit that they don't like.
I
Yeah.
figure if I'm getting locked up already, I'm definitely going to say some real fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
And Ian needs to be filming it.
Hell yeah.
I just assume that most likely whatever I'm getting locked up for is a greater charge than
Right.
talking shit to
And
the
I'm
cop.
filming it. I'm like, call him a faggot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how badly I wish I could have been there the night that Ian had his accident? Because I wish I would have known what you said.
Yes,
I wish
dude.
I could have heard all those things you said.
Oh, I bet it was great.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
Whenever he injured his head, like apparently he cussed out the cops like really
He
bad.
was real aggressive.
Oh yeah, because a bad head injury.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
don't know, and you're kind of aggressive in that manner, right? It's not even something you're about, and it's damn, dude. I wish that'd have been nice.
I mean, that was my moment.
Yeah,
That was your
Getting it
moment.
You just
all
don't
out.
remember it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
I just blacked out. And the
Probably
devil
best
came
you
out.
remember, Yeah.
And then Sam played with your penis, and
Yeah.
then all you wanted was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's probably best that
The tweaks,
you
and
don't
Mr.
remember
Show.
Yeah, dude.
Was it Jay Johnson?
Was it Jay John?
Was it Jay Johnson? I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll never. It fucking looked like him at the like the little the Trump riot or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
storming
think
storming the Capitol. I mean, based on the picture, it could be argued that it's him.
yeah, absolutely.
If it is him, I don't care. That's fine.
Good old Jimmy Pesto's about to get locked up for
Hell
being a
yeah.
terrorist.
And let's see here. What is the other thing I had in here for you guys? I had one other thing. Talked about the Chinese genocide. Oh, the cult.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Which cult is this?
The Church of the Master Angels.
It's absurd.
It's being
Master Angel. It has cult in the name.
Yep.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. I was
Well,
gonna say.
it looks like a cult.
It's absolutely a cult, and they've got 3 different websites attached to this one website. Like they don't tell you what they are or what they're doing technically.
Well,
They just live stream every night.
There was an article. Yes, a global training. It's global training every night.
They're trying to fix the world's karma.
So there is
Sounds like
this,
they're doing a good deed.
this
have
this
'em on.
description. Ian would love it. It's a unitary, non-denominational, faith-based community church that welcomes all seeker of truth, cosmic awareness, and soul realization.
Hell yeah!
Truth
get 'em
seeker.
Look, there's too many words used, and it's too general.
Say it in
that-
less words.
Why is it such a big key word in today's time? Truth seeker. Why has that become
Because everything's
the
bullshit.
biggest thing
No.
ever?
And it's just like everybody wants to be the onion, But they don't want to let you know they're the onions.
So it's run by Master John Douglas.
Yeah.
He's the master of the
Thank you,
church.
Master.
And let's see here. Some have claimed.
JD.
What do I tithe, massa?
Let's see here. He claims he can cure cancer.
Great.
Oh fuck.
And one of his
Hey.
followers says he cured his AIDS.
Oh,
No.
for sure that happened. Absolutely.
No,
And
I believe it.
a former Olympian is in the cult or in the church.
Oh, no.
And so is the inventor of
What
the
did they win a
fleshlight.
medal though?
Oh no, I'm joining the.
Oh, I
Michaela
love
Maroney did
flashlights.
win a medal, yes.
Oh, okay. Well then, see, they got clout.
But yeah, they're
Legit.
yeah. Get you $10,000 together. You can take an elite course.
Ah, Jesus, they're just
See?
like Scientology.
Scientology. Yeah.
That's what immediately throws up. It's like $10,000 for the elite course.
But I mean, you got to fund it somehow. Truth ain't free.
That's true. And plus, you can get this pendant that's like $2,000 that's been blessed by Master John.
Oh, you
I
gotta
mean,
have
and
that.
I don't want shit if it hadn't been blessed.
Yeah, you gotta have that. That's it. Just
You
makes
gotta
you
have that.
if you got with somebody and found a charismatic, whatever, gentleman or female or whatever, there, the possibilities are endless for you to create a cult like that
Right.
and a following and stuff, because so many people are easily manipulatable.
Manipulated.
Manipulated.
Dr. Sex Woods ran a cult for a while.
No, shut up.
called
I was getting ready to say I could see him being a cult
Cults
leader.
of the Lord of Nightmares.
I want to be a
love it.
part of this.
I know.
Tell me more.
Dude, I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't go into it.
What more do you need to know?
'Cause I told him it was bullshit. I was like, no, you didn't run this. But yeah,
Yeah.
so there you go.
Son of a
love it.
bitch.
I want to know what kind of orgies they had.
Probably pretty big ones.
Yeah.
That's probably where he
All that
fingered
kid
that
does
chick
is
from
fucking
Charmed.
grow
Oh,
mushrooms.
Which one?
I don't even remember. The redhead, maybe?
Rose McGowan?
What are we talking about? Oh, that one broad. The one that isn't the famous one.
Holly Marie Combs?
Yep.
Okay.
There we go.
That one.
She's famous to Couch because he knew her name.
Couch knows
Couch
everybody's
knows
name.
everybody's name.
Who was
That's a good skill. 'Cause
Who
I
was
had no
doorman
clue.
number 3 in Enemy of the State? Oh, it was that one guy.
Yes.
Couch knows everything.
It's
I don't know the
crazy, dude.
doorman, but I know Jason Lee dies at the beginning.
Yeah.
Why you gotta be ruining shit?
I forget like why. But the other day I was telling Casper about your knowledge of movies and shit, and about how. Remember, I had that time where I was like, "Fuck you, dude, with your knowledge and name dropping people that I know their face but not their name," and I was just talking you up, and I was mad about it.
I've become a big fan of this guy, Paul Walter Hauser. I think you'd like. I don't know. It's just, no, he was
Carried weight.
he was in Richard Jewell.
Yeah.
He played
Oh,
Richard
yeah,
Jewell.
dude.
He was also in I, Tonya, and he played one of the goons, and he's perfect in it. And
He's a perfect goon.
well, do you know the story of the Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan thing?
Yeah.
What, you mean like the real life event?
Yeah, the movie was about Tanya Harding, and he played one of the guys that helped set up the hit job on Nancy Kerrigan.
Yeah.
And he's perfect in it.
He's the guy that carries around a diagram of what knees are.
Well, he's like the guy he plays. I guess he claims he's like this master, of like strategy and knows spies and everything. But he's just a fat piece of shit. And it's great. He plays the role to perfection.
It's awesome.
It's you're talking about the Clint Eastwood version of
That
the
Richard
thing?
Jewell, that he did. He's in that, and then
I read reviews about both of those, and that actor, man, he killed it on both of those. I mean, as far as they're concerned, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen both that version of Richard Jewell's story or that other one, but I've heard really good things about that actor, man.
he's
It's
really
crazy.
good. He's the other thing I've seen him in was he was in the second season of Cobra Kai as a character named Stingray, and he's awesome. He's a security guard that wants to do karate with high school kids.
What's the guy's name?
Paul Walter Hauser.
I'm gonna look him up.
We
In
should
one of
be
those
done
movies-
because if I have to sit in this chair any longer, I'm gonna commit murder.
Cool,
Let's
man.
do it.
Everybody good?
Yep, good.
Hey, man,
Good.
that was, it's a pretty decent long episode. Wildly Uninteresting podcast. Again, thank you so much, Couch.
Thank you for
I
having
know
me.
that I didn't say that in the beginning.
No, I'm good. No
but
worries.
thank you to our beautiful guest, Couch.
Yes, dude. That's my dude.
God.
I love that guy.
But yeah, if you've made it this far, if you could like, comment, share, hit the notification button, we would greatly appreciate it. I'm Adam. That's Ian. Welcome back to you
Thanks,
too,
man.
man.
It's
Welcome
good to
back.
be
Glad
back,
to see you.
yeah.
Glad to see you feeling better. Good job.
And that's Sarah, the
Sarah's
beautiful
awesome.
Sarah.
I'm Sarah.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Thank you all for listening, and we're glad to be back. That was episode 97. Let's wrap it up.
Skip it. Oh, thank you, Papa, for the assist.
Wildly uninteresting
Fucking Pippin.
podcast.